That's so
welcome
funny.
to the podcast. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we're excited. This is awesome. This is like, how new is it for you, this new podcast?
Oh, this is, you guys are going to be in our first 6 guests. So
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love
cool.
that.
yeah, we're super excited.
We're so
Yeah, when we were thinking about guests, I immediately thought of you guys because I feel like you are doing something that nobody else in at least this area is doing. You know, with like
Hair and makeup.
because I feel like a lot of stylists that are awesome, they'll maybe bring a assistant, like a single assistant, and they're not even necessarily qualified to do a full group. And
it's like
so,
whoever's available.
Yeah.
Yep. And so I feel like what you guys are doing is super interesting, and so I would love to hear how you guys got started and
We
kind
were
of
just
your
talking
story.
about how it did, because it really did start a while ago. Hailey and Shelby and I went to cosmetology school at Blanco years ago, like 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
And we all kind of split off and did our kind of like our own thing. And then Shelby and I worked at a salon together for a year and a half. And I became friends with all of them. Like, I was so close with Hailey, and Payton started dating one of my really good friends, and she was just getting out of school. And I was like, gosh, I mean, my first wedding was in school with Hailey. And then Shelby came into, I think, another one with me at not even 6 months later.
Yeah.
Just because, I needed them and it was so slow. But then once I was at my, the work that I went to right after my cosmetology school, I decided that I was like, ooh, this wedding business, it's fun. It's high energy. I like that. I get to go in the mornings and then just whip it out, make girls feel super hot, super good about themselves. I have so much fun just hyping them up.
Yeah.
And then to do that with them, I was thinking, maybe we should just start trying to push doing more weddings together. And now that there's like a set 4 of us, 2 of us, Hailey does hair, Shelby does hair. They also help us prep with makeup, and then I do hair and makeup. My name's India, and I guess I didn't introduce myself.
Oh my gosh.
We'll have your names and stuff.
Oh my gosh, okay, cut that out. I'm like, I'm India. and then Payton, she does makeup. Okay. But we really work as a team, and honestly, it's just organically happened.
Yeah.
They were all at
really
my wedding.
did.
It sounds like you started kind of right off the bat as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's how it's always been.
Yeah, and it was
of
all at
course.
my wedding a couple years ago, but we weren't really a full.
It
we
wasn't,
hadn't
like,
really worked together
signified
yet.
yet.
And
Yeah.
then it was like after I got married, I was like, I would just want all of them to do their thing with me. And that's kind of the origin
That's awesome.
of it.
It is really cool.
Yeah.
And then tell me about your salon, because that's also something I feel like that's different, because it is bridal based, correct? Like you want it to be like somewhere brides can come and like have like that from like when they get engaged to prep, right?
Yeah,
Is that,
like a whole area. I feel like we really did base it upon brides coming in with their bridal parties and kind of being able to like let loose and have fun and not feel judged or just like any type of way about it.
We can yell across a salon and hype somebody up.
Yeah.
And we don't even know, but we saw, if they're coming in and they're wanting to feel really good about themselves, regardless of what it's for. But we really love weddings, and that's just.
But we do all of it. Shoots, like we do love
photo
all
shoots,
of it.
engagement pictures. There's things and it's cool to like get those clients from the beginning of doing the engagement shoot, boudoir shoots, just like all sorts of stuff, and then they get to the wedding. And then by then you feel like a bestie.
Yeah.
You know them, yeah.
And it's cool to work in the same salon. We do color. So Hailey and Shelby and I all do color, but they are like the Hailey's like the color fanatic, and then Shelby is like the extension person. And I just got my solid core of hair color, but I'm really trying to push the makeup. And Payton comes in and she's in the salon and she works and we do trials together.
I love that.
Yeah. So it
really is like an open space for people to just feel beautiful and be able to like be free to be themselves.
I love that.
Yeah.
So is it still kind of like event based? Like you're not doing like regular.
So we have like since we came out of cosmetology school, we all have our set clients, and I feel like at this point we're starting to really get to know each other's clients, which is really fun.
Yeah.
And then you see your clients get engaged, get married. So a lot of my brides have the organic start for me, and I think for them too has been your friends getting married, your clients getting married, and then you just kind of grow into styling them, and then into maternity shoots too. You start like watching them go through life and getting to glam them for a special day. It's
awesome.
It's
really fun. Yeah.
It's really fun.
Super cool. I love that.
What about weddings specifically kind of drew you into want that to be a focus of your business?
I would say for me, I have always just wanted to make people feel beautiful. Like it might sound a little bit corny, but I kind of struggled with that when I was growing up. And so just like being able to make someone just feel so beautiful, but in their own skin. Like we're not trying to put, a crazy fake face and make you not recognize yourself. Like we want you to look at yourself and be like, wow, I'm so beautiful. So for me, that's like what drew me to weddings, just seeing people feel that way. It kind of like lit the fire inside of me to just want it more.
And that's our niche too, I think, is something to like clarify. There's so many different types of clients out there that need different types of makeup, and we will have fun with like a New Year's makeup. We will have fun with like a Halloween makeup. Like, oh my gosh, Halloween's like our thing now. We were the Spice Girls this year. We took it very serious. Like we all got into character. I tried to speak in an accent. And then we ran into somebody with an accent. But I mean, it wasn't good. Like I embarrassed myself. But it's really fun when like we get to do that fun stuff. But I would say our niche, like what we are bread and butter and what we are good at, what we are great at is trying to take someone's natural features and making them look like such a good version of themselves. Like somebody like took a little wand and went like this.
Very
without
godmother.
having to like feel like they beat that face up. And you still feel like, gosh, I am hot, like I am gorgeous, whatever they want to feel on their wedding, that's what we want to do. So I think like we're definitely trying to, your vibe attracts your tribe.
100%.
And we try to keep it more on the natural side. So I think when we try to look for the perfect bridal artist match, it's women looking, they want to look like themselves, but they want to just feel super elevated. Yeah,
and I think when
100%.
we've worked with you, I totally can see that in you guys' work. Like 100%.
Thank you. That's so nice.
I know that is really sweet.
Nice.
It's been really fun when we have got to work with you, which like, I mean,
you guys photograph so well too. I will say, just like the brides that I've seen.
Thank you. You guys doesn't watch it.
The editing is so good.
It really is a bummer when you like you put so much into someone's makeup, and then when someone's editing, it just gets washed out. It's so sad.
And everybody's photography style is so different. It's like the same as makeup. It's like it depends on who's looking, what they want for their wedding. So I think like not every vendor team is going to be the best team for the bride. Even regardless of price, it's like what style, what are your expectations?
100%.
And so as makeup and hair artists, when you're touching somebody for hours of time and you do a trial, you want to make sure that you guys are like kind of the same energy and you guys have the same expectations of each other. So
what does the process look like then when a bride is inquiring with you? Like, do you have a consultation to make sure like you work together? What is that?
Yeah, we've kind of even upped for it from what we've been doing in the past few years. So when brides book, we like to get them down and then do a phone or FaceTime consultation. Some girls hate FaceTime. Some women love it. I'm down for either. So we'll do that. And then I get an idea of like what they put on their face, and Payton is going to get into a little bit about how the importance of skincare.
Awesome.
The preparations that are minimal, but it's almost an investment, and then you might even end up doing it after. So she'll talk about that. But there's just things that I think brides could be doing that would, it helps with just, what would you say?
I feel like the process of it all is like the consultation, you do your FaceTime, your video phone call, and then it is like a lot of emails back and forth. You're talking about inspiration. You have to book your trial.
Yep.
And then when it comes to the trial day, it really is like getting to know that person. You spend a few hours with them and really just, what is your idea? What is your vibe? And that's why it's so important, because they might think they want something and they do it and they're like, actually.
And they still feel beautiful.
Right. They're like, this isn't
with a
me.
wedding dress on, it doesn't like go. This is like me going to a brunch where I'm getting photographed.
Right.
Or this is me going out.
Right.
So it's so different. It just depends on what the bride, and especially I've noticed in Montana, brides a lot of them don't wear a ton of makeup, right? The environment and just the way people make money here, they don't need to put a full face on all the time. We're just not seeing as much. So it's definitely a different energy, but the trial gives you a good idea. And I think one thing I would want to add is for any bride doing like scheduling a trial, try to schedule it. If you can do it within your town, schedule it when you're doing a bridal fitting, like getting your fitting for your wedding dress. I feel like that's one of the things I try to tell people is for sure come in with a white, like even what you're wearing, that's perfect, so that they can unbutton it, but then put it on, see it with white, and then wear it, plan drinks, make your husband take you out.
Right.
Like, even if we got to take your hair out after, but like, get an idea of it. I always try to tell them to wear it for the day, but it just depends.
Right.
Some girls are coming from out of state and they don't want their man to see it, and I understand. So it's like, we work with our brides, but I think the trial is really important. Some people can't do it, but I would say it's fun to do. It's fun to get to know your people, so then we can show up and just
we tell our couples, because we gift our couples engagement sessions, like that's just
which is so cool.
Packages, because you don't want a stranger there with you on your wedding day. And I feel like you guys have that same approach where you don't want somebody coming and touching you that you don't have any idea who this person is. I think that that's awesome, and like that really resonates with us because we're the same way. You shouldn't have.
You want to get to know your person. Yeah.
Met them before.
Right.
Spent a little bit of time to see how they interact together.
Right. Not every photographer has time to do it or makes the time. So it's nice that you do it, because I think there's been times where if we're on the makeup artist side, if we show up and we haven't met them, you spend a lot of time on the wedding day trying to figure out what they want.
Right.
And then if they're like, oh, I want super blushy and super pink, and then it's like almost too pink for them. But then at that point, it's like we only have you can't change a lot. So it's like if you are really lax about makeup or you can't make it happen, that's one thing. But we do have a package that's like you are getting the absolute best time and treatment. That's geared towards just you, and your bridesmaids are treated amazing. All the girls, all of us work on bridesmaids, mother of the brides, grandmas, junior brides, do it all.
Everything.
We'll do it all, but we make sure to put the bride first.
Yeah,
I think, and that's definitely what every bride wants to feel like.
Yes,
pampered.
It's their day. They should that. It should be the most important thing, and is like that she feels the best.
So I think working as a team and working in and out of a salon together, traveling together, we are all very close friends. We spend holidays together. Like we definitely are family. So I think it's definitely like when we walk in, we bring in an ease because we know how to help each other. We can see, oh shoot, she looks a little stressed out. Do you need help? You want me to finish her lips? You need me to prep her skin?
Right.
So we don't really run into time issues unless it's like we can't get into the building or something
Right,
like that.
like it's out of your control.
Yeah.
And I think
Right.
that really marks like a true wedding professional is you know how to manage your time.
Yeah.
Because it's so much different than any other thing. Like people that aren't in the industry don't necessarily understand, and even brides, like they don't, and that's why they hire professionals, right? And
so they don't have to worry about it.
But that, I feel like that really marks like a true professional, that you know how to manage the time, you know how, like, that you got to get them out the door.
Yeah,
Time.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
And we were actually just talking about it today. We brought up, we have a minimum. And I think one of the things that we're pushing for it is because a lot of the times when we go to these weddings, we haven't had a minimum before. And people see what we can do, especially being from Billings, Montana. Like I know what we can do is good work. And when people aren't sure, they haven't looked at your Instagram or whatever, they're not sure. But then when they see it, I can't even say how many times.
Hey, would you have time?
Hey,
yeah.
hey, would you have time? And when we either have to get out the door or we don't have enough time, it's like this weird thing where it's like they would have paid it. And so we do offer it if we have time, but you're paying 50% more. So I think having I've been reiterating to the bride, let your people know that we can definitely, like, we will do whatever they want. When it comes to the hair, we'll mark out the time, we'll do what they need. But we need to know who's serious and who's not.
Right.
Because it's not going to be on us when we get to the day of. And the one girl that didn't book because she didn't want to plan her time or, whatever it is, but she feels pressured. So I also feel like if the bride is like, almost recommends them to get hair and makeup done, they should pay it, is like the etiquette.
Right.
But if they don't care, then it should be up to discretion of the bridesmaid and up to them. So I think the bride really gears like the culture of what each bridal team brings.
Yeah.
And so I think with our minimum that we brought, which just like we always end up doing 12, 10 services. And half the time we've only booked like 6 or 7, but we want to all be together, and then we end up doing it, and it's just, it changes the day. So we put that because
what is your minimum?
we have 6 hair, 6 makeup. It just started this year because we ran into it so many times last year.
Yeah.
And even one, I can't even, like, there's this one wedding where I think all 3 of us, it was this last maybe June, but there was one girl, bridesmaid, and she was like, oh, I'm ready. When are you guys going to get me in? And all of us are like, oh my gosh, I don't have your name. And I'm thinking it's on me.
Right.
But it was actually just, I think there was miscommunication between maybe the bride and the bridesmaid, but I felt so bad in the moment. But she, like, I think maybe what happened is she saw that we did really good.
Yeah.
And maybe thought she committed. And that was just like, we ran into that problem more than once.
Yeah.
Just this last year. And I think we're like, I think if we want to try to push us bringing a team, and we all ride in the same car, jam the whole way. We love working together. I think we all thrive working together. And there's times where I'm falling behind on a bride, and they'll step in and help me.
Well,
all 3 of them
That's the
will.
beauty of
And it's like I love working with them. I don't like working alone anymore. Because I have so much fun with them.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, that's me. She might say the opposite. But
That's so sweet.
I think that's why I would say, like, we're just like, we want to push it, see how it goes. And honestly, I think brides they like the energy we bring.
Yeah. Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, we have fun.
Again, like I said, when I've worked with you guys, that's what you're saying. It's just, it's
You're like,
putting
it's
into
all-
words how it is
Yeah.
to work with you guys, which I think is
That's cool.
We were just recently talking with a planner, I think it was, about how, like, if the number one thing that, like, pushes back the timeline of the day is usually, like, hair and makeup.
Yeah. You hear that a lot.
We've had a wedding that we were 3 hours late
because
of hair and makeup. So, but like I said,
What would I do?
we would all we would all rather jump and work on her. That's
I feel like
ugly cries everywhere. It'd be so bad.
Well, and I mean, sometimes it might be just a person that they're just one artist.
Right.
And then, like you said, you get like 3 extra bridesmaids thrown in or something, and they haven't started on the bride yet. Or it's just.
Well, and this is actually one thing. I mean, now that you say that, it's like squirrel.
Yeah.
But when we went to, I think, I'm not even going to say it, but we went to a venue outside Bozeman, and the bride and the venue didn't have the best communication.
But they had to be done by a certain time. So the bride gave me, I think it was like 9 a.m. So we got up at, we left by 6:45, get there. The building's open, and I just remember Hailey and I walking in like, why is nobody here? Like, oh my gosh. Like, I was so confused. And I even said it to her, and these 3 people are looking at us like, why are they here? So, okay. So I walk in. It's not the first time we've walked into the wrong place. And so I walk in, we sat our stuff down, and they're like, it's okay if you stay, but you're actually like, you're technically not supposed to be in for another hour. We're about ready to do a viewing.
We were supposed to start in 15 minutes. The bride didn't tell me.
Right.
She told me we started at 9, but they weren't even supposed to start till like 10:15. And then the photographers get there later that afternoon, and they're looking at us. So there's been a few situations. So now I've been emailing the venue, because I think sometimes if the bride doesn't confirm and we show up and we're like, well, gosh, we made the schedule for this day.
Right.
Now, we either got to work faster or move the schedule down, and none of us want to move it down.
Yeah, I know.
But that's like,
right.
But that's like, that incident is totally out of your control.
Right.
But like that, I just feel like you guys having a team, like if things do fall behind, you're able to like.
We all pick up after each other. Like we all kind of have each other's back. It really is like a flow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, also having the minimum, so like you're planning enough time
for sex.
ahead of time.
Oh, we
like,
plan
to do like,
because if
so you're not just surprised you have all these extra.
I feel like I think. Depending on the bridal party.
Yeah.
But sometimes bridal parties are like, no, I'll do it myself. And we have one from 2 years ago. Bless her heart, she's from out of state. But I think like she was so much more tan than her makeup. And most of the girls were done. And there was no service at this place. And so we had trouble getting up there. We finally get there, and she starts doing her own makeup. And it was literally like white. And she left it up to discretion that anybody could get their own makeup done and they can do whatever they want. But I almost felt bad for this chick. Like I almost wanted to touch her up a little bit, but she felt great. But as you know, she's probably gonna look 10 times more washed out in the photographs to the point where it's just as bad as if somebody got blue hair, which has also happened.
Right.
So
it really has. No, it really has.
Like a bridesmaid gets blue hair right before a wedding
and doesn't
tell anyone, and their colors are rust. Yeah,
doesn't tell the bride.
Okay,
it's happened. So it's just like I think brides, and I've seen it, and it's like if you got to be conscientious of the person whose wedding you're in,
right?
And you have to be conscientious of the people you're asking to be in your bride and your wedding party.
I think it goes down to like communication.
Oh gosh,
everything that you
funny.
talk about.
I mean,
it's all about that.
It's all funny. I mean, I puked on my wedding day because of food poisoning, and I still laugh. We look back on it. Haley was sick.
We both got sick together.
We both got sick together, and we laugh about it. Like things will come up on your wedding, and a lot of the time, we will see it because it's in the morning. Things will come up in the morning, and they got to get it figured out. So I think like the bride will have to get up and talk and leave makeup, leave hair. And so I think even just marking a little extra time just for that too takes the stress out, rather than thinking that they're not going to talk. They're just going to go like this. It's their wedding day. They're hyped up.
Right.
Yeah, they're excited.
Right.
They should be excited.
They should be 100%. Yeah.
Awesome. I know you can't see me, but one thing too, like when we're doing hair and makeup, that like how the schedule gets pushed back is people coming up and asking the bride questions.
Get a planner.
And that's like a whole thing in itself is how,
I can't even tell you the amount of times I wanted to be like,
can you just go away for like 10?
You're like, let me do it.
Yeah.
Please.
And I had a planner, thank goodness. And so I will always push for one. But now being a makeup artist, I will push for it even 10
more.
times more. And we have so many great referrals for wedding planners.
Yeah, we do.
It just like the day is so much more fun. I feel like there's just so much more time for silliness because we get to do our job and not have the bride have to worry about it. And a wedding planner is not the same as like the event coordinator. They're different people. They're not going to do an event planner. So I would say even just for the morning of a wedding planner is a day of wedding planner minimum for sure.
Makes it go smooth.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's good for us too because we constantly get stopped and it's about serious things.
Right.
But the bride, it's just not today.
Yeah.
Let's not do it today.
It's like people bringing her sappy notes from her husband in the middle of her makeup. And I'm like, I save it for
Maybe
You're like, just wait.
I should put it in the contract. Like, if there are going to be any sentimentals, please do that
Prior.
Do it during her hair, not during makeup.
Right.
She can bawl her eyes out while we're doing her hair, and it won't matter. Like, tears on your dress.
Yeah.
Like, all good, sis.
Just save it.
Yeah, all good. Oh, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so if there's times where, like, our nails aren't done or something like that, is that edible? Like, can you editable? Is that editable?
Yes.
Okay, there's been a couple times where I'm like, I am so sorry I don't think I've done it to you, but I've done it to other photographers. I'm sorry. I know, like, I get so distracted. I have good makeup and then nails, and I've always wondered if you guys are able to do that. If I wanted to,
I mean, like within reason. Like, I can't put on like
fake,
but like if you wanted your nails to look painted, like I can.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's not
also
worth
like,
it.
is it important?
No.
Like if you
No.
want to share it and you mention it to like for me,
that's what I'm saying. Like, no, I wouldn't want you to do it, but I was like, I really want to share this post, but I feel like my
nails look terrible.
really wretched nails are throwing off from the beautiful aesthetic. Like, there's been a couple times that like my orange polish is like going like
off.
this. Okay.
You have like 4 and 3.
I call them my 4 end nails.
I have always wondered that. I just not saying I'm going to, but I've always wondered like if there is one.
For us personally, like our relationship with vendors are almost as important as our relationship with our clients.
Right.
Because we'll hardly ever see our clients again, even though we love them. But we'll see vendors over and over again. And so if we have bad blood with vendors, and not even like that would cause bad blood.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, it's as important for us to go above and beyond for our fellow vendors as it is for our couples. So.
Right. Yeah. I love that.
That's why you're the best. I love you guys.
That's
We're so
really
excited.
cool. That's really
We're
great.
excited to work with you guys.
Yeah, really excited.
So do you do most of your weddings like in Montana, or are you guys traveling a lot more? What is that?
Oh gosh, we go. I feel like, I mean, we will go wherever anyone's willing to take us. Like we really are. We'll go to New Zealand if that's an option. We really go. We'll go anywhere. We mostly are like. I feel like we do quite a bit in Wyoming,
Okay.
and I feel like we do quite a bit in Red Lodge, Bozeman, that kind of area. Mostly in state, but we do have a few where we're pretty. Like Washington.
Yeah, I'm going to Washington. I was in a wedding, but I did work it. Shelby's getting married in February
in Mexico.
in a few weeks.
Yeah.
So we're gonna like all of us are just gonna like collaborate on her. Like she's our Barbie doll, our bridal Barbie doll for the whole weekend. We are so excited. We just like collab together. Like it's not even about who's doing it. We don't even care. It's just we're gonna just
we just all want to be together and do it together.
But the out of state, I'm trying to push out of state, and I think when it comes to travel, Montana. Oh, this is the thing. Montana is huge.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
Montana is a huge state. It is not a small state, and so when people from out of town see Kalispell and Billings, like they see
it's all.
They think it's a couple hours.
Think it's a couple hours, and so like I think like going forward, we were talking about it. Like if they paid for our flight, we're not going to charge them per mile. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna. Well, if they pay for a flight, it'd be a lot less.
Right.
And so there's things like that, but we are really trying to prove that. Not even prove, but I think promote that. We bring a zen to chaotic situations, and we've been put in them like
and we've all had things come up the morning before a wedding. And we pull together because we're doing it not just for like the bride, obviously for her. She paid us. Yeah. But we do it for each other. Right. Like we just like, we really.
Peace treaty.
It really is. So, I mean, even this summer we literally were at, where were we when the car died at 5 a.m.?
Oh, Miles City.
I saw that.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
It was like 5 a.m.
Oh my God.
And we're at a hotel.
Yeah.
And we have to just like, okay, we got to figure out how to jump this car.
We all worked late. We got dinner. We got there at 11. And I think what happened is we accidentally like hit my car button too many times and it started and then ran until it died.
Yeah.
So that thing won't click. Yeah. It is 4:50 a.m. and I'm like, you guys, and we still had 2 more hours to go.
Yeah, to drive to.
Yeah. And this poor little man was sitting out. First, he's checking us out, and I was like, ew, what a creep. and then all of a sudden, I look at him, I was like, you guys, I'm going to have to go ask him if we could use if he's got a car. Yeah. I don't know what he's doing. And he was like, oh, sure. He didn't know how to hook it up.
No, I ended up having to do it. It's okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like being together in Montana, it's so far apart. We want to go to these weddings, but it's just nice that, and we do it all. We do hair and makeup. You don't got to worry about sending other deposits to people, sending other people separate travel. Like I feel we definitely are getting to the point where we're like a luxury hair and makeup
which is
brand.
Great.
I think we're stepping into that, and it can be a little scary. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh, we understand.
Yeah. It's like you evolve, and
we're evolving, but we all know we're worth it. It's just now we're getting into it, and we're definitely trying to back it up.
Right. No, and I think that you guys, I mean, just like I said, you guys are very unique. That I've heard a few other places out of state that do that, but nowhere here in Montana that has a team of fully qualified. Like
and we have our own salon. Like you can come to our salon, and that's the thing in Billings. Like there's been a couple times where we've had to go to Airbnbs, too small.
Lighting's terrible.
Yeah.
We're like butt to butt, all 4 of us. Just all trying to like, oh, sorry, excuse me. Like, but I mean, we still do the job and we get it taken care of. But how nice.
Beautiful. I've seen all your like awesome thing, and you guys have worked so hard on it.
Yeah.
Like it's absolutely beautiful, which is awesome for brides to be able to come there and, you know, it's aesthetic, probably more than most.
We learned a lot. We learned a lot. Our men helped us, but I just told them, like, the only thing I have for is peach. And then Hailey's been such of a decorator part of it. And then freaking Shelby knows how to do anything and fix anything.
I'm like a handy woman.
She handled the dead battery.
Yeah. So it's so fun how we've complemented each other and how it came together, again, so organically without us really having to be like, it's got to be like this. Like, we didn't really have... There
was not a discussion specifically that was like, we need to be a team. It was like, we are a team, and we're really good at it.
It photographs well. There's like half of it is full windows. Right. So it photographs super well. It's nice and open, so big bridal parties can come in there. We do not care what kind of music you listen to.
Not at all.
I've worked at places, I've gotten in trouble, and I'm just like, we don't care what they want to listen to. We don't care what they want to talk about.
It's about them.
It's their space, and it's cool that we have our own space and we can enforce it and just like... do whatever you want, girl. Yeah. Like, and we, you know, like, have fun, be respectful, and we don't care.
Right.
Like, so it's really cool to have our own space now and just be
really
able to set our own culture and set our own vibe.
Yeah. I love that. I'm so excited for you guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, I think we can bring.
Yes, perfect. Yay.
That
sounds great.
Split you guys out.
We're excited for the second half and hear from you too. This is exciting.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So I think you had some points, Payton, about like some skincare things that you wish that brides knew more about. I would love to hear about that, because I feel like we've run into things where brides are mad about their skin, but there's nothing you can do about it once you get there, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I would love to hear.
I think a lot of it is just going into it having realistic expectations. Yeah. I think sometimes people think that we're shapeshifters. I am not a plastic surgeon.
Right.
I'm not at a prosthetic. I cannot make any texture on your face go away, unfortunately. Same with acne. Like,
it's like, that's just part of your skin and you just got to roll with it. But it's like, I know like India and I with makeup, it's just, people have expectations of flawless porcelain skin and show you a picture and you're like, hey, that's probably edited
100%.
prior. Because I'm like, if you're looking at someone's work, and this is such a good thing for people to know, like, if you don't see any texture, any pores on someone's face, like 100%. It's 100% edited. And that's so like, would suck for like a person just going through trying to get inspiration on like Pinterest and stuff. And I'm like, oh no, like that's not real. But no, prepping your skin literally should start like a year prior to your wedding.
Okay.
You like, skincare is obviously the most important thing. That's like something you do every single day, long term. And it's like, to see results from your skincare, it does take time. So that's why it is so important to like start ahead of time. One thing would be like getting Botox if you really hate the lines in your forehead and you don't want, if that's one thing that bothers you, that totally helps like smooth your skin out.
You can't make anyone look younger.
No, and Mothers of the Bride, how many times I have literally...
You wish you could, but we're not,
that too. Like, for photos, can you make me look younger in the photo?
I'm like, oh, I will do my best, but I'm like, only so much I can do. But yeah, like, I'm like, Botox, I'm like, but that's totally not someone's vibe. Like, that's totally fine. There's so many other things you can do. Getting facials, super important. I'm like, that will prep your skin plus skincare. Just those two alone will do wonders. Getting your face dermaplaned, that's just literally like using like a little like doctor scalpel and they get all like the like built up skin, all your peach fuzz, and that right there makes the world of difference for makeup.
Getting it like done, like professionally.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
honestly, I'm not good at that. I don't have the patience for it. I've cut myself. I showed up to weddings.
It's so easy to cut your.
I've literally had it. So it's just like, if you can't do it, maybe a medical spa.
Yes, absolutely. I'm like, they make those little face razors that you can buy, but they are not obviously the same as like a surgical grade scalpel.
Right.
So that's when you're going to get cuts. That's when you're going to get a lot of irritation. And so I'm like, for that, I definitely would recommend going to see a professional for that. But yeah, I'm like, honestly, skincare, facials prior, dermaplaning, I'm like, Botox.
How far out in advance would you recommend getting, like doing dermaplaning?
Dermaplaning, I would probably do it usually like, and I think sometimes people think that it needs to be done literally 2 days prior. I actually do not recommend that at all because most of the time, like your skin may get a little bump or like irritation from it. God forbid. So it's like you want time for that to be able to kind of resolve. So I would say, honestly, probably a couple of weeks even would be perfect. Like it doesn't have to be anything that needs to be done like literally 2 days prior. So, and like with facials, like you wouldn't even have to consistently get them all the time before, but like even if you did that like
a seasonally thing.
Yes, seasonally, totally. Like hydrofacials are a great thing. That will like just make your skin look more plump, more hydrated. And that's something I would probably do probably like 3 to 4 weeks because that also can like cause kind of like purging and stuff to come out of your skin. So it's just, you just have to plan accordingly. With Botox, if that would like be your first time, I would not do that
and no first the month of.
Yes, no, not even close.
Before, don't do it.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Like, or at least give yourself.
Don't do it. It's just, not fun when they have breakouts or, they have a reaction, God forbid. But
exactly.
Like that happens and there's only so much you can do. I had one girl, just quick, she literally broke out to the pillowcases at Rock Creek and it like everybody else was fine, but her eyes were so puffy the day of the wedding and there's just not much you can do. So it's like, there's things like that, but it's like, if you have sensitive skin, if you have certain things, it's just like it goes to what Payton's saying. It's really good to just start ahead if you really want to like make sure your skin is.
And how do you guys educate your clients on that? Like how would is it mostly you're sharing on social media or do you like give them something during their consultation?
During their consultation and trials. That's what
trials so like so important. You can get a feel of what someone's skin you're starting with and it's like hopefully you're doing it enough time prior that like they can fix it and help it. So
how far out typically is a trial from the wedding day? Or how far would you like it to be, I guess?
Everyone's different, but I usually like to do like a month to 2 months prior. You don't want to do too soon because by the time like your wedding day comes, you're going to probably change your mind because you've seen trends of makeup and Hailey Bieber and all that stuff. So you can get like with skin tone, it's just easier and it's like, it's still on your mind and fresh. So that's usually what I recommend.
No more than 3 months,
but it's like
no less than a month.
Yeah.
You need at least a month because people do always change their mind.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Getting a spray tan makes the world of difference.
And talk to hair color.
Well, and so same with hair color too. You don't want it super fresh to the point where if something were to happen, then you need time to fix it. So it's kind of like you book around the same time. So your hair color, your trial, or if you aren't much of a hair color bride, then it's still good to get to know because hair has a lot to do with it too. And if you want a certain look, then it's time to like order some clip-in extensions or be able to give you a cut that you're desired so your hairstyle will hold. It all falls into that too. Hair care products. That's a lot to do with it as well.
Do you do some of those extra things if they do
absolutely.
a cut or extension?
They all bring their little shears and they'll cut face framing if it's not right.
Last December, when we made chop, you basically did the
So
cut.
we did a super fun wedding last. It was we called it our end of the year hurrah or whatever. And a bride did a full chop before, so they went and got married and then came back and then we chopped her hair in 20 minutes. And so like she did like more of a glammed look and then Shelby came behind me and styled it.
I love that.
And it was so much fun. And then she went in and to the reception and had a full chopped bob. And it was just like, and everybody just screamed. It was so much fun. So like, we'll do a lot of fun stuff like that. But yes, like we will shape their hair if they ask for it beforehand. We'll color it, any sort of thing that is desired. And we do like to kind of recommend also just like skin, there's hair dislikes, likes. So if it's a certain way, we recommend products to use, especially the day before, or if they're like a fresh wash or a not so fresh wash. So we give a product recommendation.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's fun.
And first bed hair.
Yep.
Knowing what you
The expectations.
That's another thing with expectations.
Yes,
it's
it's
just
expectations. So it's like you really want somebody who's going to be like, girl, like I cannot do that. You can't have it unless you either get extensions.
Yes.
Or just change your vision.
Yeah.
So that's
And we're never mean about it. We're always very realistic, but we don't like to. We're like I don't want to say we like to overpromise. We like to kind of like under promise and over deliver.
Yes.
But we don't want you going into any situation thinking that you're going to have it one way and then come to that and then you just can't achieve that based off of what you're given naturally. So if it is something that means a lot to you or it's something that you really want to do for your day of, then yes, we give you like the full-blown pinpoint of what you'd want to do so you have that.
And I think with extensions too, like if you want like this, like glam waves are super popular. Like when you don't have a lot of hair to work with, like you're not gonna get that super voluminous, dramatic, like, and that's when extensions, and same when people like want a really huge, big old like tousled bun. That's just not, people don't have the hair to be able to do that. So
Most people, like, it's very rare that people naturally have that.
Exactly, and that's why
much so.
they make amazing clip-in extensions. They make like there's so many great options that you wouldn't even have to get them like sewn in or put in or anything.
But sewn-ins, I just plug sewn-ins because I just feel like they look, I have them. And
I loved my sewn. No, sewn extensions, they're the best. They are the best.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, they are.
Shelby does sew-ins.
Yes, she does. I am starting. I'm actually doing more training. So
Shelby did
it's
my
becoming a
wedding
lot better.
extensions, and literally they were unreal.
And she's getting ready to put mine back in, so I'm very excited. Yeah. So it is worth it.
Yeah,
it is an
100%.
investment.
But it's an investment that you are going to be able to look back on, like through your whole wedding weekend. It's other than like, just a clip-in or a halo or something like that.
I
Like,
have extensions for mine.
Yep.
Like
And it does. It makes you feel good.
And
makes you feel good.
India always says like, you have these pictures for a lifetime. These aren't just like family photos. These aren't just like, these are your wedding photos. And like, it makes.
If you're gonna get
You're gonna
You're
gonna spend
this is the day to really do it.
absolutely,
Yeah.
and you should literally feel the most beautiful ever.
Right. Well, and I would argue, honestly, that hair and makeup and those choices that you make are just as important as the dress.
Yes.
Because if it doesn't you could have the most beautiful dress in the world, but if you don't have great hair and makeup,
Yes, ma'am.
it's not going to feel complete. It's not going to feel like...
Well, that's even like where they'll come in and say like, you know, like that style is just not complimenting like the neckline of your dress. It just a lot goes into picking stuff, and it's like,
and what creates inspiration anyway? Your inspiration generally has full-blown makeup, full-blown hair. They have all the investments taken to achieve the certain look that creates an inspiration, right? Okay, so keep that in mind too. It's just, absolutely.
Yeah, that goes back to like you have to have the right expectations.
Yeah.
If you have this look that you're inspired by,
and that's like part of like
get there.
when you hire a professional, like that's where I think we take pride. Like we're always going to be honest with you, and that's like we never ever want.
There's times where we have to be honest in the moment,
and it's hard. It's hard, and it sucks. But like that's who I am as a professional, and I'm not going to have anyone be like.
And none of us like hurting anybody's feelings, but we'd rather have them look back and be like, oh, I am so glad that I decided to let them like do that, rather than look back and be like, oh my, those are horrific, or this was horrific, or I wish I would have listened because I don't like looking back at these. So there's, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Are there any other misconceptions you feel like you find a lot with your bridal clients or wedding clients?
What do you think? Like,
I mean, if not, it's okay.
I mean, no, other than the fact of that we truly just do the best we can. We just love making you feel good. We can do a lot, but we are really not magicians. So just if you
come into it with
and like
loving yourself and then just
that is everything.
One thing I've been telling my brides is, can you look through my profile and
find pictures from your artist,
inspo from my page or another artist page who is
similar to you,
who's either similar or they're not editing, just so that it's not setting the expectation so high for even the bride that even if we do a bomb ass job, they're kind of like, well, why don't I look like her? You know, like it's just you. And that's where we come in. It's like, girl, like no one. She doesn't even look like her.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
Well, and that has to do with like when they ask you guys to edit on outrageous things.
Right. Like I am fine if I know that the dress all day I've been watching you, like you bend weird and it causes a lump that isn't normally there. I'll take that out. But if I'm not gonna make you look like
something that's not you,
and I feel like that's the same. Like you guys, it's not ethical in my opinion because it supports that culture of heavy filter, unreal expectations, and two, it's not, those memories aren't real. So.
It's true.
And like with skin, going back to that, so sorry to interrupt
No,
you.
you're fine. You're fine.
Like your makeup only is going to look as good as your skin is. Yeah. Like honestly, a lot of times makeup is going to enhance texture. It's like I can do so much. Like I'm a master at covering acne. That is never an issue. And I have so many people that sit in my chair and they're like, I'm really sorry. Like, so sorry. I'm like, that isn't something you never should apologize ever. Because as professionals.
Older clients, like the moms that just that trust us, the grandmas that have trusted us. Oh my gosh. I think I sometimes obsess over more.
I love it. Honestly, mother of the brides, that is.
And grandmother.
I almost like it more because they.
Knowing how to work with their skin.
And we know it's fun to get the reaction.
You don't want to use powder on them. You want to get them glowy and feeling young. You don't put as much makeup. It's just and we know how to do it because we've done so many weddings at this point that it's like we've literally had 90-year-old women and then like little girls. Like you don't put as much makeup. You want to keep it cute with them too. So it's like we can have all sorts of people come in and know what to do. Same with hair. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. So what are you guys excited about for 2024 and like this upcoming wedding season? What is like either trends or just like projects you're working on? What are you most excited for?
Well, I think first is our shop is that we're excited to be able to bring parties there. I'm excited just to get back into wedding season.
Yeah, I know. It goes
And
so fast, and then you're like, oh, I'm ready for a break. But then it's like a month. You're like, okay,
I'm done.
bored.
Yeah, get
I'm
back.
bored. I don't treat myself.
Yes.
I think it's everything too. It's just being together. It's we have fun with our bridal parties. It's fun getting to meet people. It's big days of their lives for everybody. So I think it's the whole thing.
I know.
I think I'm just excited.
I just get excited to literally go hang out with my friends. The fact that gets to be my job is unreal and get to make people feel good. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about you guys? What are you guys most excited for?
We're excited for, we've really rehauled our business. So we are making big changes and we're really excited
That's
for,
so exciting.
I mean, this
Congratulations.
is part of that. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think anyone else is doing this, so that's amazing.
Well, the video is different. So like
not in
there's
this
people,
area.
yeah, exactly.
there's people podcasting, but not with video too, which we can give guest content
Yes.
with that. So
I
you'll
lo-
get snippets.
I
from-
love video podcasts versus just like listening. So it's fun to be able to see people.
It is fun. It's a lot of fun.
fun. So yeah, we're excited.
Go, you guys.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. We're excited. Yeah.
Well, I don't think we have any other questions for you, unless there's anything else
Do you guys want to add
address
anything?
for like brides or people listening.
Should we come sit on your laps for a
Yeah.
sec? Let's do it.
Do it.
Okay.
Snuggle on the
Group
couch
party.
together.
We'll just sit on your laps.
We break the couch.
We won't break the chair though.
You're
I promise.
fine.
Minimal weight.
I do
Minimal.
actually have
Everybody
one-
like don't sit all the
I
way.
do actually have one question. How did the name like Dandilu come? What was
I
that?
honestly was trying. I was like, I just don't want to do makeup by India because I just thought it would be kind of confusing.
Instagram handles are so
And my
names are so hard to think
personal
of.
is yes, like the country. So I was like, all
Right.
right, I already have a smart ass one. Like, let's do a serious one. So I thought I want to build like a some type of like bridally name. And I was outside and I was playing with my cute little cat Lulu. And she's playing a little dandelion. And I picked up the dandelion. I was like, dandelions are so underrated. They're actually really good for your health. They're super beautiful. And I used to make dandelion like crowns all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't even know why, but I just started like, I was literally just drawing names, making up names. And then I just thought of putting the two together. It's literally the most random thing, but I can't lie about it.
I love it.
That's not what you're expecting.
I love
I
it.
can't lie about it, but then I said it and it just sounded
worked, it fit.
it just sounded almost bridal to me.
Right.
And I couldn't find it on Google. I found somebody with a Venmo named Dandilu. I was like, we gotta change that. But I haven't found it. Like, so I feel like it's just I wanted it to be unique so you can't hopefully can't forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
so-
love that.
Well, and dandelions are everywhere. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun little.
Like you
They're
need
needed.
branding in dandelions,
Oh,
guys.
I know.
You gotta find
Like,
a
should I
dandelion.
patent dandelion? Like, that's ours. You cannot take it. Yeah, no. No, but we've been kind of trying to set our tone for the year. You know, getting into the new year and like what we've learned from last year, what we want to change, and what we want to. We set our bar higher in a lot of ways this year because we have. This last year, we're like, yeah, you guys, we got this. Like,
Well,
we
and
can
we
do
have
this.
the experience now, and it's worth it. So we make it worth it to people.
We're excited to see what comes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah,
We're excited to see where you guys
we're open to opportunity. We really are, but we just want to try to do it together.
Yeah.
Like the Spice Girls.
I love it.
Yeah. It'd be fun.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. This has been really fun.
It's been awesome.
I love it.
Thank you.